This episode's FTR shoutout goes to Akita Nation. Leave a comment down below to have a chance for a shoutout in the next episode. Make sure you're subscribed.
Hey guys, really want to thank everyone because I just hit 1,000 subscribers on Instagram, and honestly, that's all you guys. I'm pretty sure that's all my subscribers. Alright, that is super cool. I'm not agreeing with, putting a goldfish in there with probably no filter, but I'm pretty sure this is not permanent. And I know the fish doesn't really enjoy this. I don't think there's any way a goldfish would be able to know what the heck is happening. It definitely does not have the intelligence to actually know that it's driving this vehicle. But there are much more intelligent fish out there, and even in the hobby. A lot of us don't actually know the extent of the intelligence of some of these fish, myself included, until I watched, was it Planet Earth? I'm not sure. I think it was Blue Planet, maybe. They featured this fish that was using tools. I didn't know a fish could use tools. I know blood parrot cichlids are quite intelligent. There's that famous video on YouTube about that dude cuddling his blood parrot cichlid with his hands, and the fish would rather cuddle than eat. So that's pretty amazing. Any animal that can put play or getting joy in front of the necessity to get food for survival, in my books, is quite intelligent. Yeah, speaking of, I prioritize food over a lot of things sometimes. You're not you when you're hungry. I can try to believe that something intelligent like a blood parrot cichlid could sort of notice where it's going, probably won't know that it's driving the thing, but at least might learn that, oh, if I just stay here, then I end up where I kind of want to go. And maybe through a lot of time and repetitions, it will kind of learn that being in one spot rewards a certain thing.
Special shout out to my patrons who are supporting me financially, and not only are you helping fund this channel financially, but you are also sending the message across that you believe in this channel and you believe in what I do, and that's very important because it's very motivational to me. And you know what else is very motivational? You are. Just by watching, you are supporting me and letting me know that someone is out there watching my content. Thank you so much.
Now, I've seen this video circulating a little bit. I'm not going to put the full video, and I'm not going to say whose video it is. Contrary to popular belief, this channel is not about getting other people flamed, okay? I don't endorse hate of any kind. Just because they might treat animals bad doesn't mean they're just 100% bad. We all do bad things. We've all done bad things and will do more bad things in the future, so who are we to judge? Having said that, I am here to judge this. That is not okay. That is way too small of a place to put any fish, and not to mention definitely not goldfish. Yet there's at least 2 in there. Looks like they're gulping for air, trying to get out. If fish weren't known to have claustrophobia, they do now. They look claustrophobic AF. Don't worry, I'll put him in the bowl in a few days. So you got everything ready, yet you're just gonna leave it in that cup. This is procrastination at its best. I wonder how well you study for tests before the exam. Why do you need to wait to put the fish in the bowl? Just do it! Yesterday you said tomorrow. He said in the comments, he has been moved to a bigger bottle now. And the picture is a wine glass. If anyone was to listen in on this conversation, if it was a conversation someone had in real life, they wouldn't be they're talking about a fish tank. They're talking about a fish habitat. No one would think that they're talking about something they're putting a fish in. How can you put a fish in a wine glass and then transfer it into a bigger bottle? You mean Aquafina? Maybe Fiji water? Smart water?
Okay, so here's the Playco that I own. Look how big he is. Big ass motherfucker.
The title is This Asshole on TikTok Who Took His Fish Out of the Water. Yeah, it looked like that fish was out of the water for a while. You had to put him there, start up your camera, and then go back to it. How would you like it if someone just pushed you underwater and you won't know when they'll let go, but you can't breathe? Now here are the people who might be like, hey, fish can breathe. They can breathe air. They have to breathe air. That's why we have filters and oxygenation, and that's why some fish go up to gulp air. Yeah, fish breathe air, that's right. But only through their gills. Now when you take the fish out of the water, their gills become sticky. The best way to explain this is through this analogy. If you have a bowl of noodles in the water, you can switch the noodles around, no problem. You can even separate noodle from noodle. Now, if you use chopsticks or you use a fork and you scoop it out of the water, the noodle suddenly sticks together. Now it's a little bit harder to take noodle from noodle and separate it. They become sticky, especially if you had instant noodles before. That sort of stickiness when you don't have enough water. That's what gills are like. They can only operate when they're in the water. They're all separate, they're all nice and flowy. Once you take them out of the water, they stick together. The more you know. Free sidewalk tank seen on FB Marketplace. Please take and not let the vegetation die away. Because the vegetation's the most important thing here. Look, there's a fish. Why did you drain 75% of the water? Anyway, we're not losing much. It looks like duckweed and java moth. Probably algae infested, snail infested crap. You have the decency to keep the fish tank until someone actually signs up to buy it. Doesn't particularly fit into the sub, but thought a lot of y'all would like this. Oh no, not epic. Hell yeah, extremely epic. Yeah, that pretty much describes it. Also, oh no, fish abuse. Hell yeah, betta fish heaven. That's how I would probably describe it, I don't know.
Hey, Mr. Grumpy Gills. When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim.
Dorino singing.
How many unnecessary things was that? I lost count. Honestly, not that many. I guess I can't count to 4, because I think there's around 4 necessary things that I just saw. You put the fish in a glass of like 0.25 gallons, you put it on the car and you drove it home, and then you used a spatula to scoop it out to what looks like a weird perverted candle fetish sort of thing. Are you really that bored, you nincompoop? I can't believe they still do this. Thankfully, I don't think they do this in carnivals in Canada. I've never seen it at my local, fair carnival sort of thing. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it in the States. That is horrible. I mean, if you even win one, do you just carry the thing around with you all night? Don't you want to have, food and other fluffy toys? Why do you want a fishbowl and a fish in it? You can go to the pet store for that. It's even more fun to go into a pet store and look at everything. This is unnecessary for both human and fish, and doesn't benefit either. Pretty sure you're not making too much money off of this. Is that a spider web? Maybe I should do something about that resident spider of mine. It's everywhere. I'm a little scared now.
The first tank is sent in by Betta Buddies. This is quite a nice and simple scape, and the understocking of the tank is very appreciated. There is some artificial gravel here and there, but not a big deal. And this is all for Castiel, the Betta. Very nice drawing. I can tell that Castiel is a spoiled boy. A 4 out of 5 for the fish tank. Good job. The very next tank is sent in by Jamie Marshall. Jamie, you got a good tank going on here. It's pretty tall, but you've filled it out quite well. I really like the brick backdrop. It doesn't really make sense in a natural sort of way, but it's something to look at, and it's not one of those super artificial sort of backdrops, so that's appreciated. Looks like you got a short finned, or perhaps it's a female betta. I'm not really sure up top. Not sure what that fish is. Very hard to tell. It is very understocked, so that's awesome. I'm pretty sure this can be low maintenance if it's not already low maintenance. It's got a lot of plants in here and not a lot of fish, so you're doing that very right. I like the scape. There looks to be a sort of substrate divide. I think the black substrate might be something like fluvial or a nutrient-rich substrate, and then there's sand in the front where there's not much area for plants, and that's perfectly fine. That's a really nice sort of realistic approach as well, because in nature, plants grow where there's nutrients. Now something's going on over there with the purple plants. I'm not sure what that is. Let me know in the comments. And right now I'm giving you a 4.1 out of 5. Some things you're gonna work on are introducing some hardscapes that scape upwards. So a few nice pieces of wood going up would be amazing. Attaching some java moss or some bucephalandra or Anubias Nana Petite. This next tank is sent in by Jason Tai from Malaysia. Now I'm very conflicted here. This looks like a perfect tank, except I think you already know what I'm gonna say. I'm not a big fan of the gravel. But just imagine if that gravel was like fluorite or maybe ADA aqua soil, something natural like that, even sand. Wow, that'd be amazing. The School of Neons is great. Programi is amazing looking. It could even be called a species tank because the Programi is the only fish in here that's not a neon. I do enjoy the gathering of the lava rocks over there. Adds some nice texture. Going with a 4.1 out of 5. Good job. But also give that substrate a second thought. This tank is sent in by Jonathan Bayard. And of course, you guessed it, this is a progression. It started off looking like this, but then got to this point. And finally, look at that. That is now a beautifully aquascape tank. Now there's probably still a lot of artificial ornaments, including some artificial plants in there, but there are also real live plants that I can see. And I also like how you just took out all of the Pleiades and then restocked the tank with something more sensible. Although I do like the look of all that red from the Pleiades. I actually was not going to complain about that at all. And now I'm curious to see how they would look in this new tank of yours that looks great. I'm pretty sure the red from the Pleiades would contrast very well with the green. Anyway, thanks for sending over this progression. It was really nice to see that. You still have some ways to go with the live plants and maybe getting a nice carpet. I'm not sure if that substrate is nutrient rich. And for now, you get a 4.2 out of 5. Good job. Now, next tank is sent in by Kyle Wild. I would love to have a last name called Wild. Instead, my last name is Wang. Wild Wang. Okay, that's weird. Actually, this is actually amazing. This is one of my favorite tanks so far. It just looks so cinematic. Like if you take a look at the Rasboras right now and take a look at the Cardinals, you kind of see this like depth of greater than what it actually is. And I think that's all thanks to how you scaped the primary feature of this tank, which is the hardscape wood. That's a beautiful wood piece. It's so well done how you attach the moss onto it. It creates this feeling that it's a grand sort of scene somewhere. And then you zoom out a little and you get this nice carpet, nice vibrant plants. The stocking is very minimal. These species agree with each other. This is truly something else, and I can't wait to see all the plants grow out. And I know there's a no fishing sign there, but you know what? I don't even care. 5 out of 5. Very good job, Kyle. This tank is from Lols, haha. That's quite a name. Hopefully you made it through high school okay without being made fun of too much. So Mr. Lulz here, or Mrs. Lulz, you got yourself a pretty nice scape though. That's a wonderful scape. The rocks all match each other. You got plants scattered throughout it. That's amazing. It's creating a island effect, which is a style of aquascaping that is very popularized nowadays, and you've made it work. Your grass is seeding. There's a lot of nutrients in this water. There's a buttload of guppies though. I'm not sure how I feel about that. There's also a Programi sticking its tail out from the back. And there's some Cories and some miscellaneous Tetras that I'm not sure of. 4.8 out of 5. Very good job. And our next tank is sent in by Mark Pagalanen. Now the first thing I noticed was that there was some sort of algae buildup or some debris buildup, and it doesn't look great. But I'm just trying to imagine it without that buildup once it's cleaned. And my imagination is saying it looks pretty darn good. Now this is a plant species tank, which means there's only one species of plant, and that's Anubias, and I'm totally fine with that. I actually like doing that. And it's very pleasing to the eye how you set this tank up. Those angels are going to get bigger and bigger. Very simple stocking choice, which I love. You got the centerpiece angels and then some dither fish in the background. Really, you just got to clean it up and it should be a-okay, looking beautiful. And to me, honestly, that could just be a perfect amount of plants in there. You really don't need to stock more plants in this thing. It could just be that this place is a little bit barren, but there's some Anubias nana growing here and there. Yeah, I really appreciate the scape, and I'm giving it a 4.7 out of 5. Good job and keep it up.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching and tuning into another FTR episode. You are all supporting my channel, and I am so thankful and grateful for that. And that's also why I'm inviting all of you to my Discord channel so that you can talk to me, you can talk to other fish keepers, have a merry time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. There'll be more videos to come, and don't forget to get your hands wet.